The night was cold and quiet. Snow was falling slowly outside a small apartment building. The city lights looked far away, like they did not care about this place. Inside the apartment, the lights were dim. A small Christmas tree stood in the corner. It was not new. Some lights did not work. A few old decorations were hanging, made from paper and string. A little girl sat near the window. Her name was Lily. She was only 8 years old. She hugged her knees and looked at the snow. Her breath made small clouds on the glass. She did not smile. Her eyes looked tired, like she was older than her age. Behind her, the apartment was silent. Her mother was sleeping in the next room. Or at least, Lily hoped she was sleeping. Lily slowly climbed down from the chair. She walked softly, careful not to make noise. She stopped near the bedroom door. It was a little open. She looked inside. Her mother was lying on the bed, very still. Her face was pale. A soft sound came from her chest as she breathed. Lily's hands started to shake. She stepped back and whispered, very quietly, like a secret meant only for the walls. "It's Mommy's last Christmas." Her voice was so soft that even she almost did not hear it. She did not know someone else heard her. On the other side of the apartment, a man stood near the door. His name was Marcus. He was Lily's father. He had just come home from work. His jacket was old and wet from snow. His shoulders were heavy. His face looked tired, the kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. Marcus was a black single father. Life had not been easy for him. He reached for the door handle, ready to step inside and surprise his daughter. He wanted to smile and say, "I'm home." But then he heard it. "It's Mommy's last Christmas." His hand froze in the air. For a moment, he thought he heard wrong. He held his breath. His heart started to beat fast. Did she really say that? Marcus slowly turned his head toward the hallway. He saw Lily standing there, small and quiet. She wiped her eyes with her sleeve and walked back to the window. Marcus felt something break inside him. He leaned against the wall. His legs felt weak. How did she know? Why would she say that? He thought he was protecting her. Marcus closed his eyes. Images filled his mind. Hospital rooms. Doctor faces. Bills on the table. Long nights with no sleep. He opened his eyes again and looked at his daughter. Lily was staring at the Christmas tree now. One of the lights blinked on and off, like it was tired too. Marcus watched her carefully. She was not crying loudly. She was not screaming. She was quiet. That scared him more than anything. He took a slow step forward. The floor made a small sound. Lily quickly turned around. "Daddy," she said. Marcus forced a smile. "Yes, baby. I'm home." Lily ran to him and hugged his legs. He bent down and held her tightly. He could feel how thin she was. "Did I wake Mommy?" Lily asked. "No," Marcus said softly. "She's resting." Lily nodded. She looked down. "Daddy," she said after a pause, "will Mommy be okay for Christmas?" Marcus swallowed hard. "Of course," he said quickly. "She will." Lily did not answer. She just nodded again, but her eyes were full of doubt. Marcus hugged her tighter. Behind his calm voice, fear was growing. Christmas was coming fast. Time was running out. And his little girl knew more than he ever wanted her to know. The snow continued to fall outside. Cold. Quiet. Like a countdown he could not stop. Marcus did not sleep that night. After Lily went to bed, he sat alone at the small kitchen table. The light above him flickered, just like the tree in the corner. A pile of papers lay in front of him. Hospital bills. Late notices. Words he tried not to read. He rubbed his face with his hands. His fingers were rough from work. His eyes burned, but no tears came out. He was used to holding things inside. Marcus had become a single father 3 years ago. Lily's mother, Angela, used to laugh a lot back then. Their home was never quiet. Even when money was tight, Angela found a way to smile. Then she got sick. At first, it did not seem serious. Just tired days. Small pain. She said it was nothing. Marcus believed her because he wanted to. He kept working, coming home late, trusting that things would be fine. They were not fine. The sickness stayed. It grew. Doctor visits became normal. Medicine bottles filled the kitchen shelf. Angela became thinner. Her smile became weaker. Marcus remembered the day the doctor spoke clearly. Very clearly. He remembered the smell of the hospital room, the sound of machines, the doctor's slow voice. He remembered not hearing the end of the sentence. Since that day, Marcus worked more. He took extra shifts, night jobs, any job. He wanted to fight the problem with money, even when money was never enough. But he hid the truth from Lily. Every morning, he smiled. Every night, he said, "Mommy is getting better." He thought silence would protect her. Now he knew it did not. Marcus looked toward the bedroom door. He could hear Angela breathing softly. Each breath felt like a gift he was scared to lose. He stood up and walked to the window. Snow covered the streets. Cars passed slowly. People were rushing home with gifts and bags. Christmas songs played somewhere far away. Marcus laughed quietly. Not because he was happy, but because life felt unfair. He remembered Lily as a baby. How small she was. How she held his finger. He promised her safety that day. He promised to always be there. Now he felt like he was failing. In the next room, Lily turned in her sleep. She whispered something. Marcus could not hear the words, but he knew they were about her mother. Children see more than adults think. Marcus went back to the table. He picked up one paper and folded it. Then another. He pushed them aside. He made a decision. He would not let fear win. If this was Angela's last Christmas, it would not feel empty. It would not feel cold. It would not feel forgotten. Marcus did not know how he would do it. He had no plan. No money. No answers. But he had love. He walked into the bedroom quietly and sat beside Angela. He held her hand. It felt warm but weak. "I'm here," he whispered. "I promise." Angela opened her eyes slightly. She smiled when she saw him. It was a small smile, but it was real. Marcus stayed there until morning came. Outside, the snow stopped falling. Inside, a father prepared himself for a fight he could not lose. Morning came slowly. Gray light filled the apartment. Marcus stood in the kitchen, making cheap coffee. He had not slept, but he acted normal. When Lily walked in, he smiled like nothing was wrong. She ate quietly. Too quietly. She did not ask for cereal again. She did not ask about Christmas gifts. She only asked one thing. "Can I see Mommy today?" Marcus nodded. "Yes, baby. Later." Lily seemed relieved. She finished her food and went to her room to get ready for school. Marcus watched her walk away. His heart felt heavy. After Lily left, the apartment felt empty. Marcus cleaned the table, washed one cup, and stood still. The silence was loud. He decided to check on Angela. She was awake, staring at the ceiling. "How are you feeling?" he asked. "Tired," she said honestly. Marcus held her hand again. He wanted to say many things, but the words stayed stuck inside him. When Angela fell asleep, Marcus walked into Lily's room. He did not know why. Something pulled him there. The room was small but warm. Toys were placed neatly. A school bag leaned against the wall. On the bed, Lily's blanket was folded carefully. Marcus sat on the edge of the bed. As he stood up, his hand touched something under the pillow. A piece of paper slipped out. Marcus frowned. Lily was not messy. If something was hidden, it mattered. He unfolded the paper slowly. At the top, in uneven writing, it said, "My Christmas list." Marcus smiled for 1 second. Then his smile disappeared. There were no toys on the list. No dolls. No games. Only short lines written with care. "Please God, let Mommy stay. Please don't let her go to heaven yet. I will be good forever." Marcus could not breathe. His chest felt tight. His hands shook. He sat down hard on the bed, holding the paper like it could break. His little girl was praying for time. She knew. All this time, Marcus thought he was hiding the truth. But Lily had been watching, listening, feeling every quiet moment. A tear fell onto the paper. Then another. Marcus covered his face. For the first time, he cried loudly, alone in that small room. After a while, He wiped his face and read the list again. At the bottom, in smaller letters, Lily had written one more line. Please let Daddy be okay too. That line hurt the most. Marcus folded the paper and put it in his pocket. He stood up slowly. Something inside him changed. This was not just about Christmas anymore. This was about being present. About courage. About not running from pain. That evening, Marcus picked Lily up from school. She talked about a drawing she made. He listened carefully, like every word mattered. At home, Lily sat beside her mother and told her stories. Angela smiled and closed her eyes, listening. Marcus stood in the doorway, watching them. He knew the road ahead would be hard. He knew miracles were rare. But he also knew one thing. He would make every moment count. Even if time was short. Even if his heart broke. He sat alone again at the table, staring at the dark window. Snow returned softly. Each flake felt like a warning. He imagined Lily growing up with memories instead of moments. The thought scared him more than losing sleep. He whispered a promise to the quiet room. No matter how painful the days became, he would show up. He would choose love over fear. Always. This Christmas would test his strength, but it would also reveal the deepest truth inside his wounded heart forever onward. That night, Marcus opened his phone and searched for extra work. He made calls. He asked for help. Pride no longer mattered. Christmas was coming. And he refused to let love be the only thing left undone. Days passed quickly. Marcus moved like a shadow through the city. He worked early mornings and late nights. He carried boxes, cleaned floors, fixed shelves, and said yes to every extra shift. His body ached, but he did not complain. Each night, he came home with tired eyes and forced smiles. Lily waited for him by the door. She hugged him tightly, like she was afraid he might disappear. Marcus hugged her back and breathed in her hair. Angela grew weaker. Some days she could sit up. Some days she could not. The doctors spoke in calm voices, but their eyes told the truth. Time was thin. Very thin. Marcus began to sell small things. His old jacket went first. Then his watch. He told himself these were only objects. Love mattered more. One evening, Lily found a small box on the table. Inside were paper stars, string, and glue. We're decorating, Marcus said. They laughed softly as they worked. The tree looked brighter, even with broken lights. Lily clapped her hands. For a moment, the apartment felt warm again. That night, Marcus counted his money. It was not much. Still, he planned a simple Christmas meal. Angela smiled when he told her. Her eyes filled with tears. You're doing too much, she whispered. I'm doing enough, he replied. The next day, the phone rang while Marcus was at work. His heart stopped when he saw the hospital number. He answered with shaking hands. You should come, the voice said. Marcus ran. The room was quiet. Angela looked smaller in the bed. Machines hummed softly. Marcus held her hand and felt fear rise like a wave. Promise me, Angela said, weak but clear. Promise you'll take care of Lily. I promise, Marcus said. His voice broke. Outside, Christmas lights blinked. Inside, hope fought to stay alive. He did not go home right away. Marcus sat in his car, holding the steering wheel. Snow hit the windshield softly. He thought about Lily's smile and Angela's quiet strength. Fear tried to control him, but he pushed it back. The next weeks became a blur. Marcus learned how to cook simple soups. He learned how to listen without fixing things. He learned how to sit in silence. At night, he told Lily stories about brave heroes. She listened closely and asked few questions. One afternoon, Lily brought him a drawing. It showed 3 people holding hands under a bright star. Marcus smiled and placed it on the wall. He wanted Angela to see it. Bills kept coming. Marcus answered calls he hated. He signed papers he barely understood. Still, he showed up every day. Christmas was now very close. The city felt loud and bright. Their apartment felt small and fragile. Yet love filled every corner. Marcus stood by the window again. He whispered a prayer, not for miracles, but for strength. He was ready for whatever came next. That night, Angela asked to sit near the tree. Marcus helped her gently. Lily held her other hand. The lights reflected in their eyes. No one spoke. They did not need to. Marcus felt fear, hope, and pain together. He understood that love was not loud. It was staying. It was showing up. It was choosing care again and again. Outside, snow kept falling. Inside, a family held on. Marcus knew the hardest moments were still ahead. He did not know how the story would end, but he knew how he would face it. With honesty, with presence, with love. Christmas would come whether they were ready or not. And when it did, he would stand beside his daughter and his wife, holding them no matter how much it hurt. This choice gave him courage, and for the first time in weeks, he felt calm enough to breathe and wait. Quiet strength settled inside his chest as the night slowly moved forward in silence. Christmas Eve arrived quietly. No loud music. No visitors. Just soft lights and slow time. Marcus woke before dawn and stood beside the window. Snow covered the streets like a white blanket. The world looked calm, but his heart was not. Lily was already awake. She sat on the floor near the tree, holding a small gift she made from paper and tape. She smiled when she saw her father. "Is it Christmas now?" she asked. "Yes," Marcus said gently. "It is." They dressed slowly. Marcus helped Angela sit up and wrapped a warm blanket around her shoulders. She looked tired, but her eyes were bright. She wanted to be present. She wanted to see everything. They did not have much, but they had each other. Later that evening, the hospital called again. Angela needed to come in. The doctors wanted to watch her closely. Marcus felt fear, but he stayed calm. He helped Angela into the car. Lily held her mother's hand the whole way. Christmas music played softly on the radio. The song felt out of place. At the hospital, lights were bright and cold. Nurses moved quickly. Machines beeped quietly. Marcus stood beside the bed, holding Angela's hand. Lily climbed onto the chair near her mother. Outside the window, people laughed and walked with gifts. Inside, time slowed down. Angela looked at Lily and smiled. "Merry Christmas, my love," she whispered. Lily smiled back. Her eyes were wet, but her voice was steady. "Merry Christmas, Mommy." She reached into her pocket and pulled out the paper gift. "I made this for you." Angela opened it slowly. Inside was a drawing of their family under a star. "It's us," Lily said. "Together." Angela pressed the paper to her chest. Tears ran down her face. Marcus turned away for a moment. His chest hurt. He felt small and helpless. He wanted to fix everything, but he could not. Lily leaned closer to her mother and whispered something Marcus could not hear. Then she spoke again, softly, clearly. "I know it's your last Christmas." The room went silent. Marcus felt the words hit him like a wave. His knees felt weak. He looked at Angela, then at Lily. His little girl was not afraid. She was honest. Angela closed her eyes. She smiled through tears. "I'm still here," she whispered. "And I love you." Lily nodded. She held her mother's hand tighter. Machines beeped louder. Nurses came in. Marcus stepped back. His heart raced. Fear filled the room. Minutes passed like hours. Then the sound softened. The room became still again. Angela breathed slowly. Very slowly. Marcus moved closer. He held her hand with both of his. His voice shook. "I'm here," he said. "We're both here." Angela opened her eyes one last time. She looked at Marcus. Then at Lily. Peace filled her face. Outside, church bells rang softly. Christmas night had arrived. Marcus held Lily as they stood there together. He did not know what the next moment would bring. He only knew that love was stronger than fear, even now. Snow continued to fall outside the hospital window. And inside, a family shared the quietest Christmas of their lives. Morning light entered the hospital room slowly. Christmas Day had begun. The machines were quiet now. The nurses moved gently, with soft voices and kind eyes. Marcus stood still, holding Lily close to his chest. Neither of them spoke. Angela was gone. Marcus did not cry at first. His face felt empty, like all the feelings had stepped away. Lily pressed her head against him. She did not ask questions. She already knew the answers. They stayed for a long time. When they finally left, the world outside felt strange. Cars passed. People laughed. Christmas songs played. Life continued, even when theirs had changed forever. At home, the apartment felt larger and colder. The tree still stood in the corner. The paper stars still hung on the wall. Marcus took off his jacket and sat on the couch. Lily climbed beside him. "Mommy is not hurting anymore," Lily said quietly. Marcus nodded. His voice would not come out. That afternoon, they opened the window slightly. Fresh air came in. Snow sparkled under the sun. Marcus made simple food. Lily ate slowly. Everything felt different, but also calm. Later, Marcus found the paper from under Lily's pillow. He read it again. This time, he did not cry. He folded it carefully and placed it inside a small box with Angela's picture. That evening, Marcus and Lily sat near the tree. They turned on the lights. Some still blinked, some stayed dark. Lily held her drawing and placed it under the tree. "For Mommy," she said. Marcus pulled her into a hug. He felt pain, but also something new. Strength. Days turned into weeks. Marcus returned to work. Life did not become easy, but it became honest. He stopped hiding sadness. He let Lily talk about her mother. They laughed at old memories. They cried when needed. One night, Lily asked, "Will you be okay, Daddy?" Marcus thought about it. Then he answered truthfully. "Some days will be hard," he said. "But we will be okay together." Lily smiled. Months later, spring came. The snow melted. Flowers grew near the building. Marcus took Lily to the park. They sat on a bench, watching the sky. Marcus realized something important. He had not lost love. He had learned its true value. Love was not only staying. Love was also letting go. That Christmas changed them forever. It taught Marcus to listen. It taught Lily to speak. It taught them both that quiet moments matter most. On the wall at home, Lily's drawing still hung. 3 figures under a bright star. Together. Every year after that, on Christmas night, Marcus and Lily sat quietly near the window. They talked about Angela. They remembered her smile. They felt her presence in the silence. And every year, Marcus whispered the same words. "We are still here." Because sometimes, the end of one story becomes the beginning of another. A story of strength. A story of love. A story that began with a whisper and lived on forever.